Hello, Leo, and welcome back to Unbound Soul Tarot. My name is Helen, and I am very, very excited to do this little reading for you for the month of September 2024. So we are going to be looking at the general energy, the block or challenge that you are likely to face, also a positive that you will experience, and a main lesson that you can learn in the month of September, plus some other tidbits as well. So we are getting quite in depth, and hopefully we'll get a very good picture of what it is that you are headed for, what sort of month you're going to have. So as always, this is a general reading, so please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And I am aiming this reading at Leo, Sun, Rising, and Moon, specifically in that order. But if you have any other significant placements in Leo, or if you have a Leo stellium, then feel free to watch this reading too. And if you have several signs ruling your Sun, Moon, or Rising, then I encourage you to watch all of them so that you could get the most wholesome view of the month ahead. But anyway, let's get straight into it. So starting off with your energy, what is Leo's energy in the month of September 2024? Wow, okay. We have the birds that came out in reverse. We have key at the bottom of the deck. And let's see what energy is around you. What sort of energy is surrounding Leo in the month of September? Okay, interesting. We have the hot air balloon, and the yin yang is at the bottom of the deck. Now we are going to be delving into these cards in a second, but let's get the cards for the month out as well. Okay, my beautiful Leo, let's get into this. So it seems like you're going to have a very interesting month ahead because the card that is representing your energy is, as I already said, the birds. I'm going to show it to you upright as well. This is what the card normally looks like, but you got it in reverse. And so with it being in reverse, this is telling me that your energy is going to be somewhat less friendly and less accessible in the month of September. It feels like you are not really going to be in a space where you feel like you have it in you to like sort of be there for the people around you, or for just connecting with people in general. There's something about not really being able to like stand something, being like easily annoyed, easily triggered, not really having the energy or the time or the nerve to deal with other people and possibly like whatever other people are going through. So it's almost like, you know, in the usual state when we talk about the Leo archetype, you know, it's very well known that Leos are very generous. They have a big heart, or I should say you have a big heart, and you know there's a lot of you know, showing appreciation and showing your loyalty and showing your love towards the people that you care about and that matter the most to you. But for whatever reason, in the month of September, you sort of seem to be not really in touch with that aspect of yourself, and feeling a lot more, feeling this pull to like, not like withdraw necessarily, but it just seems like there is something about not really having it in you to be as available to other people and to deal with other people and their stuff. So yeah, you could be more so focused on like your own things in the month of September, or just possibly, yeah, but being in the state where you're just having a hard time with the sort of the relationships, or just like people in general. Now, we also have this hot air balloon, which is speaking of the energy that is going to be around you. And so this is like a very expansive energy, and this is also talking about traveling and movement and, you know, like seeking new horizons, or also like elevation. And so it seems to be sort of hinting at, it's almost, I feel like there is some sort of like distancing happening. And again, this seems to be something that is like temporary, something that is just happening for the time being, because of like needing space, or needing some sort of needing like some perspective, needing some room. But this could also indicate just sort of, you know, you being in some sort of energy that is making you like see things differently, or somehow going through like some sort of growth or some sort of expansion. And that's why, you know, you are so sort of embedded in this energy of needing to like go through your own stuff, or not really having the capacity to deal with the relationships and to deal with the other people in your life as much. And we also see that with the energy of the month as well, with this general energy coming through as like this sort of disconnect or this tension. And so, and I'm not saying that the whole month is going to be like that, but it could just, you know, symbolize some sort of certain very significant moments that you experience in the month of September that are like really highly charged, or that have this element of like feeling some sort of disconnect. And so yeah, that's why like it seems to be mirroring this your own energy so strongly here. For whatever reason, it just seems like there is not that much like patience, or just feeling like easily agitated or easily stirred up. And so that's why I feel like there is this weird and sort of not very usual energy of pulling away, or maybe even like isolating yourself at times. And there is also an element of like getting easily triggered or set on edge. And so I feel like it's very important in the month of September to be very, very mindful of your words and how you express yourself, because there is the potential to like lash out, or sort of create very highly charged situations with other people, just because it seems like for whatever reason you are just not really meshing with others too well. Most likely it's because of something that is going on with you, and some sort of internal processes that you are going through, and that other people are having a hard time understanding, and you are having a hard time explaining to them, or possibly even like not having the patience or just the energy to explain it to them. And so yeah, it's just easier to you know, like focus on yourself and focus on whatever it is that you're going through, and like shut everything out in the process. But I do want to clarify this energy, so we will look at that a bit more closely in just a second. But let's look at the other card next, which is this Mirror card. And this is talking about the main block or challenge that you're going to be facing. And so this is telling me that you're going to potentially have somewhat of a difficult time seeing things clearly, and really like seeing things for what they are. And this also makes me think that there could potentially be some sort of triggering, or some sort of like agitation that happens as a result of like other people mirroring something back to you that you don't want to see, or you don't want to deal with. So it seems to be somewhat of a hard thing for you to look at what other people are projecting, or what they are showing you. So again, this seems to be tied in with the whole need to like, you know, isolate yourself a bit, or distance yourself from other people's influence, because again, for whatever reason, it feels like it is adding on to the already existing like tension, or expansion, or growth, or development that you seem to be doing yourself. And I'm also kind of getting the sense with this Mirror card that you may have a difficult time, like even sort of with your own self-image, like making sense of who you are and what is going on with you. So you could be going through some sort of like either like awakening, or some sort of bigger inner transformation, something that is like shifting deeply within you, almost influencing your ego, or again, your self-perception, your self-image, and who you believe yourself to be. And so you may struggle in like understanding like who you are or who you are becoming or the changes that are happening within you. So yeah, this is an interesting energy, but let's look at the actual positive that you are going to be experiencing. And now you got the winter card for that, which is again a very interesting card to get in this position. But what this is telling me is that a positive that you're actually going to be experiencing is some sort of a downtime. So this is talking about a time when things are obviously not in bloom, when nothing is really buzzing and moving and growing. So it's more so a time of like rest and recuperation and just sort of, you know, taking it a bit more slowly. And so I feel like this, because this is a positive, it is almost indicating that this is something that you really need at this time, this sort of downtime, this time to like do some introspection or sit with yourself, sit in stillness, because obviously, you know, with being a fire sign as well, it's not your natural sort of mode of operation, right? Your natural mode of operation is movement. It is, you know, dealing with other people and being in the limelight somehow, or being noticed, being in that sort of center of attention, and that being like something that you are used to, something that you welcome. But it seems like in the month of September, you are sort of turning your focus away from that and tuning more so into yourself, almost like seeking shelter or quietude and this opportunity to like be by yourself, out of other people's influence. So yeah, this is an interesting energy, but that's what's coming through. And now, last but not least, we have this card, which is possibly somewhat ominous looking, but you know, if you have seen the Disney cartoon of the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, then this is possibly a really familiar image to you. But this is talking about the main lesson that you have the potential to learn in the month of September. And so this is talking about temptation, falling prey to some sort of indulgences, or just something that like looks good on the surface. And so I feel like the message here with the main lesson is that you actually have the opportunity to break out or break free from some sort of manipulation or some sort of some sort of temptation. I do want to clarify this card too, though, so that we could get more information. But let's start with the... Okay. So, we actually got 3 cards. So we have the Hanged Man, we have the King of Chalices, or the King of Cups, coming out in reverse, and the 4 of Chalices, or the 4 of Cups. So the Hanged Man is a card of Neptune, so it is tied to Pisces, potentially, if you want to read it that way. But with the Hanged Man, obviously, this is talking about... again, like seeing things in a different perspective and sort of being in a place of like pause, just being sort of suspended or like temporarily out of like the usual element. And so especially with the King of Chalices, or the King of Cups and the 4 of Cups, you know, the King of Cups is actually a card of Scorpio, but it's coming out in reverse. And especially next to the 4 of Cups, this is making me think that, you know, this could be talking about a specific person. If you have like someone who has significant Scorpio placements around you, this could be someone else. But it just seems to be an energy of like not feeling like you have what it takes to actually like spend your energy and your time and your resources on someone else, especially with the 4 of Cups. It is saying that there is some sort of inner processes that you are going through that require you to like sit still and really sift through what it is that you are feeling, what it is that you are going through. And it seems to be something that is like emotionally somewhat taxing or somewhat exhausting, like really taking it out of you, especially with the King of Cups here too, because this could be talking about the inner processes that you are going through. So and especially with the King of Cups in reverse, it is indicating that it may be difficult for you to, restrain your emotions or to really keep them in check. So I feel like that's especially why this charged up or tense energy is here. Because it is indicating just how easy it is to lose your patience or just sort of lash out. And yeah, with the Four of Chalices, I mean, it's so sort of clear that you are just not really feeling other people's energy. But let's look at the mirror as well. The block or challenge. This block or challenge. Can we get some clarifiers for the block or challenge for Leo? Thank you. Oh, okay, interesting. So we have the Ace of Chalices and the Devil in reverse, which is a card of Capricorn. So, yeah, you should be able to see it better this way. Yeah, it seems like you are having a bit of a difficult time in how you see yourself. I keep getting that, especially with the Ace of Chalices here. This to me is very often a card of self-love and self-appreciation. Okay, interesting. We have the Nine of Swords at the bottom here in reverse as well. Yeah, and with the Devil in reverse, there is an element. I'm actually sort of feeling a connection with the main lesson here, because the Devil in reverse is indicating that there is a need to set yourself free from something. I'm going to show you the card upright as well so you could see it. So there is this need to see how something is a bad influence or something is having a negative effect on you. And so with it coming out in reverse, though, it seems like there is some sort of challenge in setting yourself free from whatever this negative influence is, or whatever this even this weakness or this temptation is that you potentially struggle with. So yeah, again, I'm kind of getting this message that it's just difficult for you to face yourself or face the reality of something that is a sore subject for you. But I definitely feel for whatever reason, it's almost something that is going to be coming up for you regardless. And that could be something that is also, adding to you feeling easily triggered or easily agitated, and not really having the patience to deal with other people. And let's look at this main lesson as well. What is this main lesson? Can we get more clarifiers for the main lesson for Leo? Thank you. Okay, interesting. So we have the Six of Cups coming out in reverse, and we also got the High Priestess coming out in reverse. I'm going to show it to you again upright so you could see the image. This is a card of the Moon, so it can be tied to Cancer as well. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. There we go. But because it came out in reverse, I feel like this is almost talking about, not really following your intuition or not really listening to your intuition, being swayed by something that, again, sounds alluring or seems to be alluring on the outside, but that maybe isn't actually, that isn't necessarily good for you. So, and especially with the Six of Chalices coming out in reverse here too, yeah, this just feels like an insincere offer or an insincere gift or something like that. Again, this just feels like something that you really shouldn't accept. So I feel like the main lesson here is really starting to see through the illusion of something again, looking good on the outside, but then I feel like possibly you actually do have a very strong intuition, but maybe you have been ignoring it, or maybe you haven't really listened to it too much. And so you have potentially gotten tangled up in things that, again, are not actually the best for you, or that are somehow having a bad influence on you. And I feel like in the month of September, it seems to be that you have the opportunity to like break out of that, or to actually see these like fake offers, or these temptations for what they really are. Seeing through, just seeing through like other people's bullshit, basically. That's what it seems like. So I hopefully, I'm sorry if this was really confusing, but it does seem to be some sort of a breakthrough month for you, in the sense that you are starting to see through things, starting to really understand like some sort of bad influences that may be around you, and really like tuning in to your own like feelings, your own sensations, your own intuition more, and learning to like connect with yourself more. But in order to do that, you may need to distance yourself from other people for a while, or if it's someone that is specific that you feel like isn't the best influence on you, then potentially like distancing yourself from that person. But it seems to be some sort of like awakening, or like some sort of big spiritual shift that you're going through, that is going to help you sort of realize something, or see things in a much more clear way. But let's look at the potential outcomes as well. Okay, so the Nightingale is coming out first, and this is talking about the potential outcome of the general energy of the month. And this is all about like using your voice to express what you truly feel. So this is about you sort of finding your voice, which I feel like is somehow, again, tied to like some sort of potential like negative influence around you that has been either like keeping you unsure of your own voice, or just like influencing you in a very specific manner. But whatever the case, it feels like through this like tension, or through this disconnect, you will actually sort of realize what it is that is true for you, what it is that truly matters to you, and which you feel is important for you to express, for you to pursue, for you to like stand for. So this is this beautiful realization of your own inner truth, basically, that is, again, devoid of any outside effects or influences. And also this is making me think that, as I said, this tension card could be talking about some sort of like specific like outburst, or some sort of tense energy that arises with someone else. And it could be that as a result of that, again, some sort of truths are being spoken, something that really needs to be said, something that needs to be vocalized, that has been held back for way too long. So whatever the case, it seems like you are sort of seeing some sort of truth, or realizing some sort of deeper truths about yourself, and about how you truly feel, and what you truly think, and what you truly prioritize. But also it seems to be like clearing the air with someone, potentially through a bit of a tense sort of situation. But again, I feel like there is a bit of a warning of like not blowing up as you express yourself. But with this Nightingale, this is much more like diplomatic and harmonious, and rather than like making sort of matters worse by like blowing up, this is talking about like resolving the situation through again, being mindful of how you express yourself as you are expressing your truth. Now, we also have this Tarantula card, which is coming through as the potential outcome for the main block or challenge. And this is talking about some sort of like crossroads, or needing to make a decision. So I feel like, again, with this mirror card here, that there is this opportunity for you to actually like change the course of something, or actually choose a different way of doing something as a result of like breaking through any sort of illusions, and like really looking at things the way that they are, seeing things clearly, which, as again, as I already said, it seems to be somewhat of a difficulty in the month of September. But I feel like it is essentially allowing you to actually like choose with your own intuition, like actually starting to learn to use and to hear that inner voice that can guide you to a path that is much more in alignment with you. rather than, again, being swayed by outward appearances. So yeah. Also, we have this moth card, and this one is interesting because it's talking about the potential outcome for the sort of the positive that you're experiencing, which in this case seems to be some like downtime or some like potential isolation, or just sort of taking things easy for a while. And so what this is saying is that you can potentially get to a place where you start to feel a lot more inspired again, to like try different things or to explore, which is also, you know, tying me back to this energy that I was feeling, you know, around you, that there is this energy of like expansion and growth and exploration. So potentially, as you are in this more quiet space, it could be that like something new is being ignited in you, or some sort of some new interests, and just wanting to try different things just for the sake of trying them and seeing where they take you, rather than like looking for some sort of guarantee that the path is going to take you to a specific place. So this is just sort of being open-minded about what it is that you find, and just sort of experiencing for the sake of experiencing. But this is also making me think that there could be this potential to actually break through any like fleeting or flaky relationships in your life, especially, again, you know, if this is resonating for you in the context of relationships, because the moth is somewhat restless in its energy. It sort of goes from one flame to the next, right? It doesn't really linger anywhere for too long, and it gets easily sidetracked. And I feel like, again, this is more like a more specific message about a certain relationship that you may have in your life. And if that's the case, if you have been sort of attracting more like flaky or fleeting people who are more so like fair weather friends, or just sort of more like shallow friends, or who, you know, that you feel like are not truly aligned with who you really are, then I feel like there is the potential to actually like break through that in the month of September, as you are going through this like inner realizations and like soul searching, or all of this introspection that you seem to be doing. And finally, we have this Hawk card coming through, which is talking about the potential outcome for the main lesson that you can learn. And the hawk is such a spiritual and divine energy here. And this is also talking about some sort of divine message, or like some sort of divine like insight coming through. And so that's why, again, I feel like with this resisting like temptation, or seeing through some sort of illusions, is going to potentially take you to a place where your intuition is going to get a lot more strong and a lot more loud for you to hear and for you to follow. So yeah, it seems like you are starting to like really tune in with some sort of a higher energy, higher wisdom, and just like a deeper knowing as well. So that's really, really amazing. But let's close the reading out with some advice as well. Let's see what advice Spirit has for you in dealing with all of these different areas. Okay, so Leo, we have this 10 of Swords coming out first, which is, you know, sometimes somewhat of a triggering card for people. But in this instance, because this is advice on how to deal with the general energy of the month, I do feel like the advice here is to just allow things to happen the way that they are happening. And especially if something comes to an end, if some sort of like if you experience a painful culmination in some sort of relationship, then just sort of allow it to happen and accept that it is necessary. Because with the 10 of Swords, it really is talking about something that is like dead, done and over with, and that it's way past its due date, basically. So it's like time to say goodbye to something. It's time to let something go. And it may be somewhat difficult to like do that or to embrace it. But I feel like, especially with this tension card as well, or, you know, this potential like conflict happening, if it ends up like blowing up in a major way, right? If that relationship or whatever, again, whichever relationship, doesn't have to be romantic, if that relationship ends up like breaking apart, then I feel like the universe is saying that, you know, trust that this is happening for a reason. So it looks like it's really necessary to like free yourself from some sort of negative influences or negative baggage. Now, we also have this Lovers card that came out in reverse as advice for dealing with this sort of block or challenge. I'm going to show it to you upright again, so you could see the beautiful illustration. But the Lovers is a card of Gemini, and with it coming out in reverse, I feel like the advice here is to really, again, like be mindful of not allowing other people's energy to affect you, to influence you, in order for you to sort of see things clearly and like make the choice that is more aligned with you rather than being influenced by someone else. It is very important to like separate yourself from their influence. Again, it doesn't have to be like permanently. This may also just talk about some sort of like temporary thing or temporary state that you need to go through so that you could sort of make sense of yourself more. But in any case, it seems to be advising you to just sort of separate yourself from any energies that may be a bit too like entangled with your own, or that may be trying to like sway your opinions and how you see things, how you see yourself. Also, I feel like because again, the Lovers is very often a card of like choice as well. I feel like the message here is to, you know, again, be mindful of the choices that you are making. Don't rush any choices that you are making, especially with this tarantula here too. This is about, you know, like being patient and taking your time and like really feeling through what the right choice for you is. And again, I just feel like with the Lovers here, it is essential to not prioritize your relationships this month as much as you usually do, because again, it seems to be such a crucial thing for you to be able to like separate yourself so that you can make sense of your own feelings. Now, we also have this Ace of Wands coming out in reverse as advice for the positive that you are experiencing. And so, you know, this is telling me that Spirit wants you to embrace this time of like less activity and less action, of actually like, I'm just showing it to you again upright so you could see, but I feel like the advice here is to embrace, you know, not taking action, of just sort of being still and accepting this time for what it is. Because, you know, even though you may feel like you really don't have what it takes to like deal with other people too much, it doesn't mean that other people are not going to like reach out to you. So if you are being offered something, or if someone is asking you to like, you know, take part in a project or something, or just wanting your energy, wanting you to participate in something, then I feel like the advice here is to be very mindful of like how you spend your energy, because it seems to be vital that you like hold your energy for dealing with whatever this like inner sort of transformation and awakening is. And finally, we have the Six of Swords coming through as advice on dealing with the main lesson that you have the ability or the potential to learn. And so I feel like this is basically saying to not really dwell on the past too much and turn your face more so towards the future, and just focus on like, not, you know, how you have been duped in the past, or not how someone has taken advantage of you, or not like focus on the negatives that you have potentially gone through, but more so try and extract the lessons from the things that you have gone through, and realize that they have made you so much like stronger and wiser and more prepared for the future. And so, yeah, just I feel like focusing on moving ahead and moving towards feeling more at peace with things, and that seems to be something that Spirit wants you to focus on here, rather than getting bogged down by the past. So yeah, that's it. I'm sorry that this reading was a long one and that it dragged on a bit, but I do have to say I was somewhat struggling with these messages. I almost felt like I couldn't really speak, like the messages just didn't want to come out. So, you know, maybe that's how you are feeling in the month of September too at times. I don't know, but you know, if you are watching this reading and if this made sense to you, then I would love to hear from you. Also, if you are watching this in the month of September and you see some things resonate, or even if you feel like, you know, something isn't resonating for you, then you can let me know that too. But if you did enjoy it, or if it at least gave you some sort of clarity on something or some encouragement, then I would love to get a little thumbs up from you. And also, you know, please don't forget to subscribe if you did enjoy this reading or you want to see more readings from me, because that would help my little channel out immensely and I would be so grateful for that. If I don't see you in any of the other readings, then please take care of yourselves. I do hope that you have a super magical month of September, and you have got this, okay? Whatever this is that you're going through, you've got this. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I hope to see you very soon in one of my next readings. Bye bye.